Could Celsius customers get some of their cash back? The company says they can. Its plan looks a little bit like a long shot though. I'm Joel Flynn, welcome to the Daily Forkast, July the 19th, 2022. Bitcoin mining could be key to Celsius's bankrupt hopes. Ethereum leads crypto gains as Bitcoin moves above $22,000. Macro events are still the biggest risk to markets, and India says crypto bans will need the whole world to work together. This is what's happening from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
Celsius customers could be in line to get some of their money back. That is according to a plan outlined by the troubled crypto lender. Ahead of a bankruptcy hearing Monday, Celsius said they could make more money from long crypto bets or by getting cash at a discount. The company also said Bitcoin mining would be key to plugging a $1.2 billion hole in its balance sheet. Is the plan realistic though? Forecast Monica Ghosh has more.
In its presentation published ahead of the hearing, Celsius offered more information on the company's current status as well as setting out the path forward. Among the next steps was a proposal for using Bitcoin minted by Celsius mining operations to grow its holdings and help repay customers. And at the hearing, Judge Martin Glenn gave interim approval to the spending of $3.7 million on a new mining facility as well as $1.5 million on customs and duties on imported mining rigs. Celsius already has over 43,000 mining rigs in operation and aims to have at least 110,000 rigs online next year. It claims current operations generate around 14.2 bitcoins per day, but that if its plans come together, around 15,000 bitcoins could be mined next year. At current prices, they would be worth just over $330 million, but that's still a long way short of the $1.2 billion Celsius needs to cover its deficit. Not only that, according to Reuters, Dennis Dunn, a lawyer representing a group of equity investors, said it could be argued that those coins should be considered the property of the Celsius subsidiary that raised funds for the mining operation. The US Department of Justice's bankruptcy watchdog also waded in, saying customers might object to cash being spent on mining vendors when the recovery of their assets is in doubt. Celsius says it is also considering asset sales and third-party investment opportunities as ways of raising capital. However, the value of its assets also remains in question, as although Celsius claims it owns $600 million worth of its native token cell, data from CoinMarketCap shows a market cap of just $184 million. I'm Monica Ghosh, Forecast.
Bitcoin's rally extended overnight. It broke above the $22,000 mark that many analysts had seen as the top of its current trading range. Altcoins have also been on a roll, and Ethereum is up a whopping 40% over the last week. Have markets completely priced in risk from the global economy though? And what is driving these gains? Forecast Jenny Ortiz takes a look.
After a turbulent few weeks, the crypto market has staged a recovery. Ethereum hit a high of $1,600 before retracing to trade closer to $1,500 Tuesday morning in Asia. But Ethereum Classic emerged as the biggest winner among the top 100 cryptocurrencies, gaining 22% in 24 hours. Other altcoins in the top 10 are also in the green. So what's driving the gains? Justin Butendam of Bit.com told Forecast it's all about the merge.
So obviously we've seen a surge in price action over the weekend, primarily driven by the announcement from the Ethereum of the tentative announcement of the launch date of their highly anticipated update, otherwise known as the merge, where we move to a proof of stake from proof of work. This has really driven movement in the EVM chains. We've seen outperformance in Polygon, Avalanche, and Matic have all been driven higher, and along with, of course, Ethereum, which is up over 40% over the last few days.
Ethereum's highly anticipated merge is tentatively set for September 19th. Meanwhile, Bitcoin extended its rally, climbing above the $22,000 mark. So is this a sign of a thaw in the crypto winter? Butendam doesn't think so.
We're nowhere near the end of the crypto winter. I think we're near the end of this present cycle within the crypto winter. I feel that this present cycle was obviously caused by contagion of some very big names falling.
Markets across the board have been battling concerns over rising inflation, a possible recession, the war in Ukraine, and a growing list of crypto firms lining up for bankruptcy. However, Butendam believes the fear over contagion spreading is slowly dying down.
The market holds out a lot of hope now that a lot of this contagion and liquidation has been washed through the market. We've generally seen stable price action over the last few weeks, and this has given the market the opportunity to wash out any further liquidity that they have had.
So will the crypto market sustain this growth in the coming days? Butendam says that remains to be seen. I'm Jenny Ortiz, Forecast.
So with crypto prices and Bitcoin in particular looking a little bit range-bound but very steady over the last few days, let's get more analysis. We are joined by Damien Lowe, CEO of Matrix Asset Management, for our Market Movers segment. Damien, is the crypto contagion entirely priced in at this stage? What are crypto investors, do you think, primarily looking at now, given that they seem to shrug off these high US inflation numbers that we saw last week?
The macro is still the front and center in everybody's minds. I think that people are waiting to see if the Fed will continue to keep pace on their hiking. And that's why it's been a little bit range bound overall. New news, like even bad news, is being discounted now because it's kind of somewhat expected, even if it's higher than the print number. So that's what's everyone's sentiment right now. I think if anything, as you said, it's been range bound to a little perky, given that there was a soft announcement that there is going to be the merge in Ethereum happening in September. So that's specifically the crypto markets that has people with a slightly bullish tone to, or at least put a floor on things for now.
In terms of strategy then, what are you looking at next? Where is the main risk coming from, in your opinion?
I think tactically, back to the merge, Ethereum will outperform the other cryptocurrencies overall. That was something that was in people's minds before that. And if you look at ETH relative to BTC as a ratio as well, it was one of the ones that sold off more. So specifically, I would prefer Ethereum from a tactical perspective, maybe not on a longer term perspective. So that's what everyone's looking at overall in the crypto markets. In the macro markets, I think there is a view that Europe in all shapes and forms will underperform the rest of the world, given that it has to slow down economically from the energy constraints that they're having to face right now, given the war next door.
And Damien, let's talk about regulation. India seems to be pushing very hard to take the global lead on it, but with the US also considering a crypto bill at the moment. How worried are you about what's going on in regulation, in the rulemaking, in the midst of the contagion and everything else that's been going on in crypto markets?
I think, you're right to point out in terms of regulatory risk, and I don't think it's very specific to the US. I think this has been a global phenomenon in nature, and what I really hope from regulators is that they don't take the wrong lesson out of this all. So hopefully they actually get a little bit faster in terms of looking at the space and really spending some resources to get people to look at it and come up with regulations, but not be draconian in the sense to try to stymie development and growth in this area, but really just to have guardrails and guidelines, so that people have a lot more clarity and are willing to build and understand where the boundaries are and are able to go forward and take this whole space to the next step.
All right, thanks so much for that. That was Damien Lowe, CEO of Matrix Asset Management. India's finance minister has said any ban on crypto would need international cooperation. Nirmala Sitharaman told lawmakers yesterday that India's central bank wants to prohibit digital currencies, but she also told lawmakers that any ban would need help from other countries. Otherwise, crypto investors would take advantage of different sets of rules. Sitharaman last week called for the G20 to share tax information on crypto. Even though India has imposed 2 separate taxes on crypto this year, Sitharaman said that the sector was not yet considered legal there. Binance has been fined in Europe over illegal operations. The world's largest crypto exchange was slapped with a $3.4 million charge by the Netherlands central bank. Binance had been warned by the Dutch authority it was offering its services to customers without permission. A Binance spokesperson told Forecast they respected the decision even if they didn't completely agree with it. The company added it has applied for registration in the Netherlands through a local entity and wants to cooperate with regulators in Europe further. The company, of course, already expanding fast in the region. It's already gained licenses in France, Italy and Spain. All right, that's it for today's Daily Forecast. There is more on Twitter from us at forecast_news. Do head to our website as well for more detailed analysis on what's moving crypto markets. You can find a link to that in the description below. Like and subscribe this video if you want more content from us. We have daily forecasts for you every day of the week. I'm Joel Flynn. I'll see you next time.